Am I the idiot for telling my boyfriend he is financially cut off from me and I will provide zero help if he buys this? So this situation involves me, female 28, and boyfriend, male 27. We have been together for about 2 years and some change. We live together and split all the main bills, but the rest of our paychecks we keep separate and spend how we wish. Typically this works fine, but despite him earning the same, sometimes more, than me, he is not great at budgeting. He gets takeout almost every day, buys coffee out every single day, sends his god-awful abusive mom money whenever she asks, etc. And I've had to help him out with money multiple times, but the real issue started when he brought up wanting to buy a pug puppy. Now, I work in veterinary medicine, lead VT at my clinic, and frequently see firsthand the suffering these dogs go through due to bad breeding, and even just their breed standard anatomy. Plus they are prone to so many chronic expensive health issues. And I've found over the years that no matter what the other person says, if you work in my field and they get a pet, a lot of the harder care aspects, like medical, will fall on you. And honestly, I find buying a pug at all to be unethical and something I am not okay with. I certainly wouldn't be willing to bring them into my clinic and shoulder the responsibility, which I know would happen. I love my BF, but this is a guy who thought neutering a dog involved removing their penis and even says he knows nothing about animals until I met you. Who is going to have to manage the situation when this dog has chronic allergic dermatitis/otitis or IVDD or one of the other million issues they typically end up having? Me. I already know it. I explained all this to him, and he got quite upset with me for completely shutting down what he wants. I told him a small mid dog isn't out of the question, just not a pug or other brachycephalic dog and not a puppy. They are far too much of a time and effort commitment than either of us can provide and wouldn't be good for anyone. I don't like to admit that I pulled the "this is literally my career field and I know what I'm talking about" when he kept repeating. Well, you don't know that. Because yeah, I kinda do. I'm also not proud of this. But I told him if he did get the pug puppy I would never help him out again with money and I would give him zero help with the puppy, including bringing them into my clinic as an employee-affiliated pet for at-cost care, cheaper but by no means free, or medications. He was pretty shocked when I said this and left our apartment to go cool off. I guess he told our mutual friend because they told me via text I was being a witch about the whole thing and must hate animals. All my coworkers agree with me, but I know they are obviously biased. Am I the idiot? Edit to add, this mutual friend was his best friend before we started dating and they became my friend also. Or at least I thought they were. While what they said is shitty and not okay, I have a hard time believing my BF actually called me that to him. Even when we argue, not often, but happens, he has never used any language like that or anything even remotely disrespectful. I would not tolerate that. He is immature at times, but never like that. Another edit to address some common things in the comments. My clinic is actually part of a shelter. I talked at length with him about how we could foster one of the dogs from work who was compatible with us and our lifestyle, size, energy, age, cat-friendly, etc., before adopting, and he was not happy with this. He also was not interested in mixes with pug who didn't have the extremely short face due to not looking like a pug anymore. That's when I got a little more forceful with my ultimatum. If we got a dog together, then I would be happy to take on the lion's share of things like medical care because this is a pet we got together, and just makes sense. I got my cat before dating him, so I'm my cat, and have never asked him to shoulder any aspect of her care other than feeding her if I was going to be home late from work, or something similar. We have never had an issue like this before, so that's one reason I'm a bit lost on if I was really in the wrong or not. I appreciate all the comments a lot. I'll be in the comments, but I think this addressed the most common inquiries now. For a few comments before an update, not the idiot. If he won't consider your professional opinion, backed up by even casual research, then perhaps drawing this boundary will make him realize this is not a capricious decision on your part. Comment 2, not the idiot. I have been in a fair share of relationship fights over animals, and it's not always easy, but it's a path many cross. It's one thing if he already owned the pup before getting together, but getting an animal while in a relationship has to be a decision made by both parties. Now for the update. So I didn't dump him yet, after we had a long talk. Could we still break up? If I don't see a lasting change from him, yes, but we aren't there yet, and him admitting he fricked up is a big part of that. And no, a pug puppy is not happening. Turns out the dog he had as a child, D, was a pug, and was devastated when D died. He never really liked talking about D, and I never pried. He cried a lot once he started talking about D, thought D was always very healthy. So when I was going on about the health issues with pugs, he assumed that it was overblown and I was just being overly cautious. Since D was healthy, and he wanted a dog that looked like him, brought on after Mom had found his old collar, I got a gut feeling. So I kept trying to, as kindly as possible, ask questions about D. How often they took him to the vet, if he had any photos, etc. It turns out he couldn't remember a single time this dog went to a vet. If a vet never diagnoses an issue, it doesn't exist, right? And once he found some old photos, I pointed out the dog clearly had ocular issues, likely untreated KCS with ulceration, and eventually went blind, sat in a way that indicated hip issues, even remembered a time that the dog collapsed after playing in the yard but he got up again a while later, so his mom said he was fine. Once I spelled all this out to him, he looked like someone had slapped him across the face and just said he was so sorry. He was just like all those awful owners I tell him about, etc. He was a kid. He shouldn't have been expected to manage that dog's veterinary care. But now that he's an adult, he needs to look at the situation logically, and I was extremely hurt he gave zero shits about my professional opinion. I get that enough from owners at work, don't need it from my BF. He apologized and said he doesn't think he is ready for a dog after all, and when the time comes, he's happy with looking at dogs from the shelter I work at. So, the issue with his friend. I did something I had never done before, asked to see his phone, their messages. A friend got a very one-sided version of events, thinking I unfairly vetoed him, but never used any derogatory language. Showed him what this friend sent me and he was pretty taken aback, told me he would deal with it. If he doesn't, this relationship cannot continue and money. That was hard. Tried to be gentle, but it feeds into a deeper issue with his mom, not a new issue, and I told him enough is enough and I can't keep supplementing his income because he gives so much to her. Something happens and suddenly has a big medical bill. Car randomly breaks down? Obviously I would help him. Money for psycho mom? No, done. Her or me. He chose me, going no or low contact with her, and absolutely no money, even if she does her manipulative BS. We'll see if he holds to that. If he doesn't, he knows I'm done. Comment 1. You're the idiot. It's not your place to dictate what kind of pet your boyfriend can have based on your professional opinion. While you may have concerns about the breed, it's ultimately his decision to make. Threatening to cut him off financially and refusing to help with the puppy is manipulative and controlling. Respect his autonomy and find a compromise that works for both of you. Comment 2. Sometimes a dog is just a dog. And sometimes it's not. Sounds like a super productive conversation and a mature response to conflict, even if he is pretty naive about dogs. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for how I responded to a friend at my friend's birthday dinner? Hello, I am part of a friend group of 5 girls, all 20 to 22 years old. We live in Europe and this post is translated to English. My friend A had her birthday dinner with the group yesterday. A's friend, B, is 22 and a stay-at-home mom. I am a university student. Yesterday, when B arrived late, she looked at me and said, "You look like shit." Not very nice but true, so fair enough because I really looked like poop. Why? I have a lot of courses that I have to attend and I cannot delay them. The exams are coming. I am studying for more than 90 hours per week without counting the lectures. I am also working, although only 3 hours a week, with preparing at home for at least 2 more hours. I am stressed and I fear that I cannot pass these exams. I kind of developed insomnia due to the stress, so I have not slept for the last 3 to 4 days, and you can see it in my face. I am starting to think that if I die right now, at least I don't have to do the exams, but I think I will feel better again after the exams. I didn't even want to go to dinner because I just have so much to do, but I care about us, so I went. I said, "Yeah, I am very tired from studying." She laughed and said her usual mantra, "You don't know what tired is. I have 3 kids. Talk again about it when you also have 3 kids. You could have at least put on some makeup." Now, I don't really know what happened to me because we are all used to this kind of comments from her, but I snapped. I told her exactly how tired I am. I told her that she isn't the only one tired and that her gatekeeping being tired is annoying and also shows what a selfish person she is, and that being empathetic for one time would not kill her. I followed saying that I am without doubt more tired than her, since all her kids are out of the house for 10 hours a day, good daycare since her husband has a good job, and all she has to do is cleaning and not even cooking because her husband does this. Moreover, she has her mother-in-law taking care of night duties, because she and hubby are too tired. She told us all of this herself, while I have to clean and cook and do it all by myself. I think at the end I was kind of screaming because when I looked around, people were staring at us. She asked A if she had anything to say, and after A didn't say anything, she told me I was a childish witch and to go to hell. Then she left. I think I was just too shocked to react. After that I started crying and I immediately apologized to A for ruining her birthday dinner. I was kind and told me not to worry about it and that she would have a chat with B later. The other girls messaged me after we left saying that I had to apologize to B, that I was insensitive to her struggles and that it was not okay to bring her home situation to the discussion. I wrote this during another sleepless night, and am only posting this now because I still don't know if I was in the right for responding like that. I mean, I still ruined A's birthday dinner and I could have just ignored her comment. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. We can dish it out but can't take it back. Had she kept her rude comments to herself like she should have, she wouldn't have been embarrassed like she was. I would not apologize to her at all. I would offer another very genuine apology to A for this taking place on her birthday though. Was it the best way to handle it? No. But B deserved what she got. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Having once had a schedule like yours, I understand how you could snap. Find some new friends, sweetie. Now for the update. Regarding by friend A, I called her and apologized again for yelling and ruining her dinner party. She said that I did not ruin anything and that she should have put a stop to B's actions long ago. She also told me that I was paranoid as always and that I did not yell but just raised my voice a bit, and that it was normal that the table next to us seemed invested in our discussion. I insisted on taking her out to dinner, just the two of us after my exams, and we went and had a great time. We are both in no contact with B and low contact with the other girls. Regarding my university problems, I contacted my teacher. He was as useful as always and told me that I should continue to do my work, meaning all the work, and that he would ask his superior for help. I did not hear back from him before my presentations. At that point I was angry and bitter about all the work I had to do, so I said, screw them, and signed everything with my name only and presented it alone with my colleagues standing next to me completely silent. I repeated several times that I did everything alone and told my teacher that I sent him an email with proof of this, email, screenshots, etc. He said he had not seen the mail yet. He asked the others if it was true that I did everything alone, and 3 of them actually tried to lie after I told the teacher I had proof. But the last one, I will call him Boy, said the truth, and apologized to both me and the teacher. Boy took me out to lunch after the presentation, apologized again and explained that he was like stuck in a mental coma after a traumatic event that occurred to him, and that I snapped him right out of it when I told the teacher about all the work I had to do alone. His words. He told me that he was thinking about quitting his studies because he was so behind, but I managed to dissuade him and we now regularly meet up to study together. We have become good friends and he will be back on path with his studies in about a year hopefully. I passed all my exams but my colleagues failed all of them. The 3 other colleagues are currently facing some troubles with the university for fraud/cheating, since they continue to claim that they worked on the exams and will not back down with these statements. My teacher is confident that they will be expelled over their stubbornness. Boy is okay, as he admitted everything and just failed the exams. I can sleep again and I am happy. This is all. Thank you all again. Comment 1. This is a great update, and I'm really proud of you for standing up for yourself at school and for learning the value of prioritizing friends who reciprocate care. You handled all of this really well, and I really hope that your workload becomes more reasonable as you continue to push back on those who may try to shirk their responsibilities. Comment 2. First, dinner story is awesome. Some parents need reminding that we all go through times of no sleep. Second, good on you for standing up for yourself. That would have been intense to stand there with everyone lying at first and to fight.